today in this video, we're gonna learn how to make this tiny mushroom snack. This is actually one of my favorite childhood snacks when I was just a little girl. Just like every other video, we're going to get started. Let's start off with the materials that you will need. I have picked out 3 shades of brown essentially. This beige is for the stem part of the mushroom. And then I chose 2 browns. This one is a darker brown for the mushroom cap over here. You also need your basics. So I'm using a 3.0mm hook for this crochet project. And then you'll need a yarn snip, some stitch markers, and also your yarn needle. And to put the mushroom cap and stem together, I'll be using my hot glue gun. I'll be using the dark brown crochet yarn to make the mushroom cap first. So we're gonna start off by doing a magic ring, followed by a 6 single crochet. Once you're done with that, I like to pull it out so it's bigger and then tighten the magic ring. So this is a little trick that I use. If you pull the tail, you can see that this one is moving towards here, so we're gonna pull on the other end. And you'll see that the second yarn is being tightened. And then once it's tightened, you pull the tail again to tighten the whole magic ring. Okay, and then put back your crochet hook and do a slip stitch in the first stitch. To start off the next row, start with a chain first and do a single crochet. If you want, you can put a stitch marker here. And then in the next stitch, we are gonna do a increase. And then you're gonna repeat this pattern 2 more times. So 1, increase, another 1, increase. So before we slip stitch into this stitch, we are going to cut away this extra yarn. And slip stitch. Okay, next we are gonna do 2 chains to start the next row. And then you can see that it's curving out this way. We want to make it such that the front side is facing on top. Okay, then you continue. So we are just no increase, no decrease. We're just gonna do 9 double crochets. Again, pull back the slip stitch and continue. and then slip stitch into the first stitch. And row 3 is done. Okay, to start row 4, you're gonna do 2 chains again. In the first stitch, do a double crochet, but make sure only going through the back loop. Only the back loop. And then in the same stitch, do a double crochet again. So it's like doing a double crochet increase, but the first stitch you go through the back loop only, and the second stitch you go through both loops. Okay, remember to put a slip stitch and then continue. So back loop only first, then a double crochet through both loops. In, change on, through both. And then we're just gonna slip stitch into the first stitch, cut off the yarn and pull it out. Okay, then we are gonna hide this long yarn. So using the yarn needle, we're gonna thread through and hide the yarn. So what I like to do is to go through from the outside into the inside, and then sew between the stitches. So just pick like 2 or 3, go through and cut the yarn. You see, the cap is done. Next, we are gonna use the beige milk cotton to do the stem of the mushroom. So we're gonna start off with magic ring and 6 single crochet. So it's the exact same as the mushroom cap. Slip stitch, for the second row, do a chain, and same thing, we're gonna do a single crochet and an increase, and repeat the pattern for the entire round. and then flip it over. And for round 3 and round 4, there will be no increase or decrease. We're just going to do 9 single crochet. So to start off the row, do a chain and then just do 9 single crochet. If it's flipping the other side like mine, you can just flip it over, okay, before you do the slip stitch. Then the next round, do the same thing again. And slip stitch. Okay, for row 5, what we're gonna do is do a chain first, followed by a single crochet, and then we are gonna do a decrease, and then do the same again, single crochet and a decrease, another one, single crochet and a decrease, and slip stitch. So you can see that I'm not using stitch markers anymore, because I feel that when it comes to this kind of miniature, it's easier to count the stitch like this. If I were to put a stitch marker, it will just get in the way of me crocheting. So this is what I prefer. But if you want to put a stitch marker, you can still do it. It's completely up to you. Okay, so for the next 4 rounds, which is row 6 to row 9, there will be no increase and decrease. We're just gonna do 6 single crochet for each row so that we can get the height. So once you have done 9 rows, what we're gonna do is to cut the yarn and pull it out, and we're gonna hide the yarn. Okay, so using the yarn needle, same thing, we're gonna thread it, and what I like to do is to go from the outside and come out like this, and then use the back of the yarn needle and hide the whole yarn inside. So this one is kind of like the stuffing. And then you're done. You can do as many as you like. I've made a couple of mushroom caps in different colors and also all the stems. To put all of this together, we are gonna need the glue gun, so I'm just gonna turn it on and heat it up. So if you haven't get a glue gun yet, I will highly recommend you getting one because it's super convenient. And personally, I don't like to use the lighter and glue stick way because I don't like heat. So glue gun is the perfect one for me. Once the glue gun is ready, you will see a little bit of glue oozing out, and that is your cue. So what we're gonna do is to glue the top of the stem. So just go one round like this. And take a mushroom cap and put it on. And hold around 3 seconds. And then you are basically done. So we're just gonna repeat for the rest of them. Okay, done. So gluing all of these took me less than 2 minutes. So I like them like that, but if you want it to be more secure, you can actually go in with the glue gun and glue the inside so that it's more secure. But I like them this way, so we're gonna keep it at that.